Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, from wow to visit the Philippines, to it's more fun. Now the country's tourism slogan gets another makeover. And gives us many reasons to love the Philippines.
It also conveys a strong message to the world that we are ready and fully equipped to welcome tourists.
Love the Philippines goes to the very heart of every single Filipino.
Tourism Secretary Christina Frasco joins us in the program. And let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Tourism Secretary Christina Frasco. Secretary, it's good to have you again. Welcome to the source.
Daghang salamat, Pinky. Good morning. Love the Philippines.
Yun na nga po. Umpisahan na po natin dyan, Secretary. I want to find out more about the concept, the thought process on how the slogan, Love the Philippines, came about.
Pinky, we went through the effort of conducting a global, regional, and local market study and research to truly understand the prevailing landscape of tourism, especially post-pandemic, with so many factors surrounding tourism having changed all over the world. And what that global market research study revealed is that we have what we now call the change traveler, where the priorities for travel have shifted to the desire for purposeful, substantial, immersive, and authentic experiences and interactions with communities, and truly getting to know the destination, as well as attaining a sense of purpose in one's travel. This is also evident, apparently, in the spending of tourists worldwide, which would show that they're now spending more for experiences and not things. On a regional level, our Southeast Asian neighbors, who are our direct competitors, evince from their national tourism development plans, as well as their very successful tourism campaigns and programs, that they have fully capitalized on their culture, their heritage, as well as their diversity in presenting their value proposition for tourism to the world. Locally, we do have data on the basis of actual surveys conducted among consumers/tourists that have been to the Philippines, who have unanimously indicated that having visited the Philippines, it exceeds their expectations, and at the same time, they've enjoyed their stay because of their experiences with the people. And therefore, putting all of this together, in addition to the social listening that was conducted, that associated the Philippines among all other countries first with the word love, and conversely, that showed that people most associate the word love with the Philippines.
So basically,
It resulted in this tourism campaign for the country.
So basically, Secretary, I saw your previous interviews. You talked about studies globally, regionally, and even local studies. And there's been a shift of the behavioral pattern for passengers. But the question was, why love? Was there a survey that was conducted, and then it all eventually pointed out to when the Philippines was mentioned, it equaled love?
Yes, exactly that. There was a social listening conducted, and per Euromonitor, it would indicate that of all the words that are associated with the Philippines, it is love that ranks number one. And of all the countries that were associated with the word love, the Philippines ranks number one.
Really?
Of course, by virtue of the previous tourism branding campaign of the Philippines that capitalized on the word fun. Fun is also associated with the Philippines, but not as strongly as the word love.
Yeah.
Love encapsulates many things. It cuts across many generations, and it gives opportunities for the Philippines not to deduct, but rather to add to its value proposition as a tourism destination, because there is so much to love about the Philippines.
In fact, that was that's what I wanted to discuss, the end part of the video. Let's play that because it said so many ways to love the Philippines. Unfortunately, we just got the end part of that, but basically it said there's so many things to love. Love the heritage, love the smiles, love the friendship, and so on and so forth. I wanted to find out siguro the brainchild of that. Kasi inuna nyo pa yung love the fun, because many people, I would say that, we're still, hindi naman many people, there are still sectors hoping you would continue on with it's more fun in the Philippines. But you started out towards the end with love the fun, love the heritage, love the smiles, love the etc. Tell us about that thought process there.
Pinky, there is still an ode to fun, because the Philippines continues to be a fun destination, and that can never be taken away from our country, which is exactly the reason why it is very evidently included in the tourism initiatory video launching the Love the Philippines. On the other hand, we really have only scratched the surface of all that there is that the Philippines has to offer to the world. Beyond fun, there is our deep well of culture and heritage, our tapestry of communities and indigenous peoples and ethnic communities, as well as the many diverse complexities of the Filipino identity that you can find all over our regions. To add to that are our products, our food, our festivals, our sounds, the love and warmth of the Filipino people. All of these things encapsulate who we are as a nation. And we have not yet fully told the Filipino story to the world. And so this is also our love letter to the world, giving them an opportunity to have the full picture of the length and breadth of the story of the Philippines.
It's nice how you said that, our love letter to the world. Okay, there have been those who support this Love the Philippines tagline, slogan. There were some that were saying it's a little too generic, and some were saying, no, it's really time to love the Philippines. Yung iba naman sinasabi, parang pinipilit daw yung taong to love the Philippines. On one hand, they were saying, no, it's actually, it should be coming from us, that we love it as parang an automatic feeling. Okay, some of the criticism still, Congressman Salceda, unhappy to say the least, that Mayon or Albay was not included in the video, this first video of the Love the Philippines campaign. Would you like to respond to that, Secretary?
Well, I thank Congressman Joey Salceda for his passion for Philippine tourism. This has been evident in his work as governor of Albay, and we certainly recognize the value of Mayon, our history, our heritage, and our natural assets. Our president wishes to be inclusive in that we are equalizing tourism product development and promotions, which is exactly why, as you can see, in the logo itself, it presents a reflection of the many facets of Philippine tourism in our country, which is also reflected in the tourism video as far as it gives you the big picture of the Philippines. Certainly, Pinky, the very nature of an ad campaign is that there is a beginning and there is a continuation. And this is only the first of very many iterations of Love the Philippines, and we certainly look forward to the opportunity to highlight our regions, our natural destinations, all the components of Philippine tourism, especially and including Mayon. But certainly there is no intention to exclude. Rather, this is an inclusive attempt at telling the world that there is so much to love about the Philippines.
So we are expecting further videos showing the beauty of the Philippines so that we can all love the Philippines?
Yes, definitely, because you can never run out of things to love about the Philippines. As a matter of fact, this also serves as a golden opportunity for our fellow Filipinos to localize their love for the Philippines by telling the world, telling their friends, telling everyone what it is that they love about their local communities. What food do they love?
Yeah.
What is it that they enjoy in their local destinations? Not only is this a love letter to the world, it's also a love letter to us Filipinos. It is a reminder of just how much there is to love about being Filipino and how much there is to love about the Philippines. It's a rallying call for us to take pride in our own nation, for us to unite and come together. And as President Bongbong Marcos has said, for us to become our very own tourism ambassadors and top influencers for Philippine
And it
tourism.
should start with us. You mentioned substantive, immersive, and authentic. Let's talk about that after the break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Tourism Secretary Christina Frasco. Secretary, I left it at the change in travel behavior, as you had mentioned earlier, and even in previous interviews. They want substantive, immersive, and authentic. What kind of programs are you looking into to be able to meet these demands of travelers or passengers?
Pinky, I will answer you by telling you where I am right now,
Where are
which
you?
is in Davao. We have just launched the very first Philippine Experience, Heritage, Culture, and Arts Caravans, which seeks to give tourists, international and domestic, an opportunity to get to know our destinations by, of course, letting them visit our beaches, our heritage sites, our landmarks, and the like, and also, most importantly, allowing them to have immersions with our local community-based tourism organizations, our residents here in the localities of Davao, as well as our diverse ethnic communities. So we're very excited for this because this Philippine experience is done in collaboration with our local government units who have taken time and effort to coordinate with our regional office as far as putting together the best of the best of what there is to love about the Philippines. So it's a composite of cultural performances, bringing them to the resorts as
Yes.
well as the Eagle Sanctuary, the chocolate producing Malagos Farms, and museums here and various other places that will allow them to take a peek into the heart and soul of the Filipino. This effort, as a matter of fact, will be replicated all over the Philippines. And the second leg of the Philippine Experience was actually supposed to be in Bicol this July. However, given the prevailing circumstances, it's tentatively set for August. So we're very hopeful that through this, we would allow our tourists to immerse in the beauty of our culture, learn about our history, and really get to know and enjoy the warmth and love of the Filipino people.
You actually answered a concern I have, Secretary, how to entice not just international passengers, but domestic travelers too. Not just, of course, we have many beautiful beaches, but we want to see more. And that's something that you're saying you're doing right now in Davao. Aside from going to our beautiful beaches, we want to know more about historical landmarks, heritage, culture, what is highlighted in a particular place. In other words, to have a bit of siguro best tour if you were to visit a particular place. And I want to add to that, you are planning to launch a mobile app. Is this where people can possibly choose their interests that could probably match where they want to go and what they want to see?
Yes, exactly, Pinky. In a few short weeks, we are launching Travel Philippines. It's a tourist life cycle app developed in collaboration with the Tourism Promotions Board. In the tips of your fingers, you would be able to have direct access to the experiences that you can have in the various regions, provinces, cities, and municipalities in the Philippines. You simply have to click on the tourism experience that you would like, and it will immediately take you to the destinations that offer these, as well as even go so far as to give you information on what are the travel agencies, tour operators, as well as tour guides that are available in the area that can help you curate your experience in the particular destination. Through this, we are able not only to present to our tourists the many facets of Philippine tourism, but also really equalize tourism development and promotion, because we are giving equal attention to our regions in the Philippines and giving them an equal platform to be developed and to be promoted.
And you know, when we spoke way back, I think when you were newly designated as Tourism Secretary, I do recall you saying that we need to go beyond what are the popular destinations. Not that we don't need to highlight them, but you were saying that there are so many other areas that need to be discovered and highlighted. What are your plans for those areas, and possibly its inaccessibility?
Pinky, thank you so much for asking that question, as that goes to the very heart of the National Tourism Development Plan, recently approved by our president, which envisions the Philippines to become a tourism powerhouse in Asia. For indeed, while the world has recognized us to have award-winning beaches, dive sites, and other nature-based destinations, there is still so much more to discover among our 7,641 islands, which is exactly why we've launched the Philippine Experience. We're launching the travel app. And at the same time as well, we have launched the Tourism Champions Challenge to encourage countrywide development on tourism infrastructure. This is in collaboration with our infrastructure arm, PIEZA, wherein we are giving opportunities to mayors from our over 100 cities and over 1,400 municipalities to submit tourism infrastructure proposals in compliance with the National Tourism Development Plan. There is 180 million pesos earmarked for this, as we are giving financial grants to those that will present their proposals and will go through the vetting process, the end of which we foresee is that we would be able to have grassroots tourism infrastructure development. At the same time, we recognize that we must look beyond mere promotions and really go to the heart of tourism product development, which is why under the National Tourism Development Plan, we have identified infrastructure to be the number one priority for tourism development, precisely also because according to the World Economic Forum, the Philippines ranks very low in terms of tourism infrastructure. And in fact, in 2021, ranked 75th out of 117 economies as far as the indices for tourism tourism development pillars. With that, we are in collaboration with the Department of Public Works and Highways as far as the construction of tourism roads leading to destinations, and as well to improve connectivity, which is the result of our collaboration with the Department of Transportation, wherein the DOT has presented its suggestions for improvement as far as our gateways are concerned. We have instituted improvements to the interiors of NAIA Terminal 2. You can feel the love and warmth of the Filipino through the work of Filipino artisans at the airport. And we have also begun the training in Filipino brand of service excellence among airport frontline workers.
Okay.
In addition to this, digitalization is essential in tourism development, especially now all over the world. And that is why we have collaborated with the DICT to improve internet connectivity in 94 tourism destinations all over the Philippines. 94. The good news is that this effort has already reached around 46 as of the middle of this year. Both domestic and international tourism make up the vibrant and vigorous recovery of the tourism industry. As far as domestic tourism is concerned, we recognize its strength as far as anchoring the success of Philippine tourism. Because in 2022, the Philippine Statistics Authority established that there were no less than 102 million domestic trips taken by our fellow Filipinos. Daghan kaayong salamat sa atong mga igsuunang Pilipino sa inyong suporta sa turismo sa Pilipinas.
Yeah.
This also yielded no less than 1.5 trillion pesos in domestic spending. And if you combine that with the inbound tourism spending, tourism contributed 1.87 trillion pesos to our economy in terms of tourism spending, constituting no less than 6.2% of the gross domestic product and translating to jobs, employment to 5.35 million Filipinos.
We understand, of course, what kind of effect a boom in tourism would have in our country. Secretary, another break. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Tourism Secretary Christina Frasco. Secretary, I wish we had more time. I have two questions left, 1 minute each. How much did you spend for this campaign? That's the first question. And number two, how much do you need next year for your tourism development plan?
The process of procurement was done and initiated, and the total cost of the entire study, coming up with the logo and everything, and the components of this branding campaign totaled to 49 million pesos. And as far as next year is concerned, we are truly hopeful for support as far as rolling out the campaign here and abroad. We have already given our proposal to the Department of Budget and Management, and we are eagerly awaiting the release of the National Expenditure Plan and looking forward to defending the same before the House of Representatives.
Yeah, and
Pinky, according to our numbers, for every peso spent on tourism, there is a multitude that comes back as a return on investment. That is really quite evident in the 1.87 trillion contribution of Philippine tourism to the economy, not to mention the indirect benefit of tourism to everyone else that is part of the tourism value chain, including our small and medium enterprises. So it is just right to invest in Philippine tourism because it gives so much benefit to our economy and to the Filipino people.
You have so much on your plate. I wish we had more time, Secretary. Maybe another time I'll be able to speak to you again to be able to look into, a lot of, as you mentioned a while ago, I wanted to talk about it, but I don't have time, in domestic travel, how that has contributed. There's so many Filipinos who want to see more of the Philippines, but sometimes there are just a lot of roadblocks. So they are unable, or we are unable to do this. And in fact, sometimes we'd rather go abroad because sometimes it's cheaper actually to go abroad. But that was just something I wanted to raise. But unfortunately, I don't have time for you to answer that. Maybe another time. Good luck to you, Tourism Secretary Christina Frasco.
Thank you, Pinky. Love the Philippines. Go travel.
Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.